Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
That male moved away from the vehicle and fired around into the air.
Police shoot a man in Stephenson County after he walks into a local bank holding a gun. We are live on the scene. Plus, moving down the road, the largest youth soccer club in the state line gets a new home just as one of the sport's major tournaments returns to the Rockford area. And giant thanks go along with a giant check. A month's worth of lunches and dinners help people learn to read. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. A man is in the hospital after Stephenson County police shoot him. The 911 call came in just after 9 of an armed man who walked into the Citizens State Bank on Main Street in Lena. When deputies got there, they say he fired a shot into the air. The man and Stephenson County Sheriff's negotiator went back and forth for hours. By this time, the man had moved about a block away to near the railroad tracks in downtown.
The subject raised the firearm in the direction of officers, at which time the officers fired at the subject.
Ari Bruckman's been on the scene since this morning. He joins us live. Ari, you heard those shots at the end of this, right?
I was standing at a safe distance away when I heard the shots that we later learned came from police.
Yeah, the streets in downtown Lena, as you can see in that video, were blocked off with police cars and Lena officers, as well as deputies with Stephenson County. Businesses in the area didn't really know what was going on. They were actually told to stay inside. Nearby schools were put on soft lockdown. Sam Fryer owns Hometown Trophies, Gifts, and Engravings. She says she heard 4 gunshots and is still trying to process what was going on.
Knowing that it was just the one man and that he was here and I could see him with my eyes, that made it, made that a little bit easier. But just to watch it, like I said, I'm probably just going to be even a couple days processing it and, the emotions, and hug my family a little tighter tonight, because like I said, things could have happened very different, and I'm just thankful to God that they didn't.
The investigation is still ongoing. Sheriff's Office has not really said anything more about any of the officers involved or updates on the condition of the man. We'll bring you those updates when we get them. Rockford police are trying to figure out who opened fire this afternoon along a busy street. Around 2 o'clock, police say multiple shots were fired on Charles Street, just west of 20th. Police tell us right now it doesn't seem like anything or anyone was hit by bullets. Charles Street was shut down as police investigated. The 13-year-old shot and killed by Chicago police last week is laid to rest. A private funeral was held for Adam Toledo. The teen died March 29th after what police call an armed confrontation. Lawyers for the teen's family released a statement saying they are scheduled to view body cam video from the shooting next week. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability is investigating. It has said it plans to release that video after the family has seen the recording. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin's murder trial moves into its 10th day. The chief medical examiner who performed George Floyd's autopsy took the stand. Dr. Andrew Baker ruled the death was a homicide last May. He determined Floyd died from cardiopulmonary arrest, complicated by police restraining Floyd and compressing on his neck. Baker also told jurors the autopsy revealed Floyd did not have prior heart damage. Chauvin's defense lawyers claim Floyd's drug use and heart issues led to Floyd's death. Starting Monday, anyone in Illinois over the age of 16 who wants a COVID vaccine can get one. That means there are more mass vaccination pop-ups happening in our area. The Ogle County Health Department's still sending people to the clinic at the old Kmart on Sandy Hollow. There's a one-day vaccine site at Rockford's Allen Chapel AME Church on Rural Monday. Also Monday in Ogle County, there's a single-dose clinic at the Oregon Fire Department. And then next Friday, anyone 18 and over in Boone County can get a vaccine at the Poplar Grove Fire Station. All 3 of these clinics are for those 18 and over because the vaccine available will either be Johnson & Johnson or Moderna, which is only approved for those 18 plus. We have a link to sign up for all of those on our website, mystateline.com. Here's another sign of returning to normal, or at least summer is here soon. More events are being planned across the state line after being shut down for most of last year due to COVID. Monday, Rockford aldermen will discuss approving City Market. It's scheduled to begin Friday, May 21st and run through the end of September. Head of the Rock Regatta is also back. The rowing crews will hopefully fly down the river October 10th. We haven't seen the regatta since 2017 because of high water levels as well as COVID. Happening right now, a big donation to help local kids. The Rockford Raptors Soccer Club is moving from Sports Score 2 to a new location thanks to a Rockford businessman. Dylan Siraki tells us all about it.
Yeah, Eric, the Puri Cup College Showcase will kick off in the next few minutes here at Sports Score 2 in Loves Park. While leaders with the local Rockford Raptors Soccer Club are excited for the tournament to return, it's not their only reason to celebrate this weekend. The Raptors announced they'll soon have a brand new training facility on North Lyford Road in Rockford. The Puri Foundation donated the $680,000 plot of land to them. The training facility is expected to include new fields, a clubhouse, training room, and a rooftop patio. Raptors administration say the space will allow the team to add new events they wouldn't otherwise be able to host. Coming up tonight at 6, I'll have more on the Puri Cup and the economic impact it's supposed to generate for the Rockford region. Reporting in Loves Park for your home team, I'm Dylan Siraki.
There's a new crime-fighting officer in Ogle County. Meet Hayes. The Ogle County Sheriff introduced his newest canine. Today, Ogle County was able to get Hayes thanks to a $13,000 grant from Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. That money paid 100% of buying and training the dog. Hayes and his handler, Deputy Zach Hare, will join the other canine duo in the county, which means the Sheriff's Office will be able to have a canine team on duty every day. A sub sandwich chain with locations in the state line brings in a record haul for a local nonprofit. Last month was Jersey Mike's Month of Giving. Sales at the Rockford and McChesney Park locations benefited the Literacy Council. In all, just over $28,400 was raised. The company and the organization held a check presentation. Literacy Council executives say the help comes at a time when donations are being hit hard by COVID.
So this is really something that was needed and something that's really going to help us spring forward. And instead of just trying to tread water, I'm really hoping this is going to be something to help us start growing again and increasing our number of students and increasing our volunteers.
The Literacy Council provides free reading, writing, and language instruction to local adults. Rockford's very own Cheap Trick is out with a new album. In Another World marks the band's 20th studio album. Tracks include Summer Looks Good on You, Boys and Girls in Rock and Roll, and a cover of John Lennon's Gimme Some Truth. The band will be busy touring over the next year. They'll be in Australia for half of May. This summer, the Rock and Roll Hall of Famers will tour with Rod Stewart in the U.S., including a stop in Tinley Park. Cheap Trick's been churning out albums since 1977. Flags are at half-staff across the United Kingdom following the news that Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth's husband, has died. The Duke of Edinburgh died just a few months short of his 100th birthday. Prince Philip's health had been failing in recent months. He was recently released from the hospital after being treated for an infection. Philip was known for his military service in the Royal Navy during World War II and his passion for environmental causes. Due to the pandemic, his body will not lie in state and no state funeral will be held. A change could be coming to the nation's highest court. President Joe Biden's called on a bipartisan commission to examine whether the Supreme Court should be expanded. Our Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor reports as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
Good evening. The nation's highest court has had 9 justices on the bench since just after the Civil War. Congress would have to approve changing the number, but Democrats now control both chambers and the White House.
The membership and size of the court.
President Biden is fulfilling a campaign promise by creating a bipartisan commission to study adding seats and term limits to the U.S. Supreme Court.
He wants smart legal experts, people who have been thinking about these issues for decades, to have a discussion and a debate.
The 36-member commission will spend the next 6 months evaluating the issues before releasing a public report. It will not give specific recommendations to the president. But this week, liberal Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer warned against a major transformation.
Think long and hard before they embody those changes in law.
Conservatives like Thomas Jipping with the Heritage Foundation argue adding justices to the court is a ploy to quickly gain a liberal majority.
There's no reason to change that system other than to forcibly push the Supreme Court in a particular political direction. That's a terrible thing.
But Paul Schiff-Berman, a professor at George Washington University, says Republicans are the ones who have rigged the court.
For the first time in American history, we currently have a Supreme Court where a majority of the justices were appointed by presidents who did not win the popular vote.
President Biden still has not said if he supports adding seats to the court or imposing term limits. In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
Now your first warm weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Doom.
Our temperatures today were right around normal for this time of year, upper 50s. We did manage to make it into the 60s actually in Rockford. 60s, the current temperature here in Rockford. 59 right now in Janesville, 56 in Monroe, and 56 as well for those of you out in Freeport, despite having that cloud cover and a few showers. Now, these few showers did actually pull our dew point temperatures up quite a bit, now in the upper 40s to lower 50s. But as our temperatures drop down to the upper 40s and lower 50s later on tonight, we will probably see some patches of fog, potentially some patches of some dense fog form later on this evening and through the overnight. It was also a fairly breezy day today. We have wind speeds right now anywhere from around 15 to 20 miles an hour, but despite these winds coming out of the southwest all day, they did not help us warm up much at all. And that's because we were feeding into the cold air mass associated with the storm system up to our north. You can see a lot of cooler air sitting down out to our west and up to our northwest, whereas not too far to our south, they were tapping into the system's warm air mass. So you can see a fairly tight temperature gradient here today. As we just saw, we only made it to 60 in Rockford, but Indianapolis was at 78, 80 degrees down in St. Louis today. We unfortunately tapped into some of that cooler air associated with this storm system. And it's this storm system situated up to our north that brought us some of those light showers that we were seeing for much of the day. Still seeing a few very isolated, very light showers move on through. But as we zoom out here, you can see as this storm continues to lift off to the north, the rain is also retreating to the north. So we're just about done with the rain through the rest of the night. But our next chance of rain is not far behind at all, associated with this storm system currently brings some showers and storms to areas down to our southeast. But notice the drier air that's sitting in between these two storm systems. A lot of that clearing that you're seeing on our satellite and radar, that's going to help clear out a lot of our cloud covers we had on through the latter part of the evening and the overnight. So our cloud cover is likely going to break up pretty well, especially through the overnight tonight before more clouds move out, or move in, I should say, early tomorrow morning ahead of our next chance for rain. So the rain should arrive in the area around mid-morning, 8 or 9 o'clock hour or so, and then scattered to even widespread showers are expected then for pretty much the entirety of our Saturday, with the best chance for a few thunderstorms moving on through in the evening hours, and then some scattered showers likely going to last with us through the night and through much of our Sunday as well. Not going to see nearly as much rain, however, for our Sunday. Now, considering that we're expecting some pretty heavy showers at times, we could see much of the area receiving a little over an inch of rain through Sunday evening. Here's a live look over the Rochelle Airport using a Merciel Skytrack, where all the rain is gone for the time being, and now we're just hanging on to some cloudy skies overhead. Now tonight, temperature is going to be dropping down into the mid-40s. Going to see some patches of some fog likely to develop overnight tonight, and then heading on into tomorrow, only going to be warming into the lower to middle 50s, with rain likely through much of the day. Following another chance for a little bit of rain on Sunday, we're going to see a mostly dry week ahead. Temperatures sort of variable on either side of normal, which is upper 50s, lower 60s for much of this week.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lever.
I'm coming to you live from Harlem's Peterson Stadium, where once again this will be a very busy place this weekend with high school football. 2 games, one here tonight, another one here tomorrow afternoon. Tonight's game is a Big Northern Conference matchup. This game will feature Genoa Kingston taking on Winnebago. Winnebago's using Harlem as its home stadium this season to take advantage of the turf surface. The Indians have played 2 games so far. They dropped the first one to Stillman Valley, a close game. Last week they won a thriller in Dixon. After trailing 14-0 at halftime, the Indians came back to win 19-14. They'll try to carry over that momentum. Genoa Kingston is off to a 2-0 start. The Cogs routed Rock Falls in their opening game, and last week they won at Byron 14-0. It was the Cogs' first win against Byron in 13 years, so they come into this game feeling quite good about themselves. Now, the game here tomorrow will be a huge one in the Nick 10. The Harlem Huskies will host the Hononegah Indians. Harlem right now, by the way, finishing up its practice here on the field before this game gets started here tonight at 7 o'clock. The Huskies are 3-0. Hononegah comes in at 2-1 tomorrow. The Indians will try to bounce back from a 21-7 loss to the Boylan Titans last Saturday. The Indians came out of that game fine physically. The bigger question is, how will they bounce back emotionally? That was a game they had their hearts set on winning.
I know that Saturday when we got back to school, I spoke with a few of them, and there was a little bit of shock, disbelief, and that sort of thing. And we talked about, hey, we set those expectations, and you knew what was going to happen. You know the type of team Boylan is, and we've said the same thing about Harlem. They're going to bring their A game every single time, and we've got a lot to prove now this week to ourselves primarily.
I feel like we put it behind us and we're ready to go. Like, we were right there. We just didn't make all the plays we needed to.
David Greenberg, Tim Bailey, and I will discuss that Hononegah-Harlem game more in depth tonight on Overtime. We'll also have a feature story on Harlem quarterback James Cooper Jr., and we'll, of course, have highlights from tonight's action around the area. Catch Overtime, as always, at 11 o'clock on Fox 39. Well, the Ice Hogs game scheduled for tomorrow night in Grand Rapids is off. Grand Rapids is going through COVID-19 protocols, so the Ice Hogs won't take the ice again until next Tuesday night at Iowa. Cubs and White Sox also have the night off tonight. They'll be back at it tomorrow. The Cubs will play the Pirates at 5:35. The Sox will host the Royals at 1 o'clock. And one of the biggest stories in Major League Baseball continues to be White Sox DH Yerman Mercedes. He began the season by making Major League history with 8 consecutive hits, and yesterday he launched this blast against the Royals. Traveled 485 feet. That's the longest home run by a White Sox batter since 2004, and it's the longest home run in the Major League so far this season. Tony La Russa is a believer in this guy.
You just have to watch his at-bats. He doesn't throw at-bats away. He's so ready to hit, and he's showing that he's a good breaking ball hitter, good fastball hitter. He makes adjustments. He's a seasoned rookie, but he's for real.
He's been something. We'll be right back.
Here's a look at our first one interactive radar, sponsored by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Just about all the rain is done for the night before more moves in for tomorrow. We'll enjoy the short break while we have it. Thanks, Kevin. Stay safe.